Hi, I'm Wendy, and today I'm going to talk about storyboarding your presentation. Now, this is a two-part video. So the first part will be about structuring your ideas for clarity, and in the second video, I'll come back and give you some tips on how to storyboard, and there are a few ways that you can do that. So let's have a look at storyboarding. It is a very powerful technique that will help you organize your thoughts and create a very logical and coherent flow for your presentation. Now, the first thing you should do is define your objective. So clearly outline the purpose of your presentation. You need to know why you're doing this. What is your goal? What is your objective? What is the purpose of it? If you don't know, then this presentation is really not going to go too far, is it? So identify the main message that you want to convey and the key takeaway from your presentation. The next thing, as I've said before, with any presentation, know your audience. So consider your audience's background, their demographics, their interests, their needs, their knowledge level, and tailor your presentation and your content to suit. It needs to match their expectations and their understanding of the subject matter. The next point I'd like to make is about creating a strong opening. You need a very compelling introduction to grab your audience's attention, of course. Maybe a surprising fact or a shocking statistic or a very quick relatable story that will hook them in right from the very start. Organize your content. That's my next point. So your main points, you should have between, say, about 2 and 4 main points that will support your objective. They should be clear, concise, brief, direct, and of course, directly related to your topic. You can have some sub-points, break down the main points into a few sub-points. So these might provide a bit more detailed information. They might give some examples, some evidence to support your main ideas. Goes without saying, if you want a clear presentation, then you need to have quite a logical presentation as well. There should be a logical flow to your presentation. Arrange your main points and your sub-points in a logical sequence. You can consider either using a chronological order, or you could use a cause and effect structure for your presentation, or even a problem-solution format. So it just depends on what your topic is, what you think suits. But obviously coherency, logic, that kind of thing should be what should flow through your presentation. Visualize your ideas. So use visuals, charts, graphs, images, diagrams, even some little videos, if you like, to complement your points. So these will aid in your understanding and the retention of your presentation for your audience. Now, transitions, smooth transitions are very important. So this is the next thing you need to have a think about. Clear, concise transitions between main points and, of course, those underlying sub-points. Transitions will help your audience follow your narrative, connecting one point to another as seamlessly as possible. So you can use phrases like, now that we have discussed this, let's move on to, for example, or moving on from this point to the next point. Or you could even say, we've covered this point now. I want to now talk about another point. So you can see how we're moving relatively smoothly and seamlessly between points. Incorporate stories and examples. I've talked about this before. Obviously relevant, entertaining, insightful, not just, some random old story. You need stories that will actually illustrate your points and resonate with your audience. Stories that, have an emotional connection to your audience. reinforce your message with those main points so you can come back to it. You may have made a few points earlier in the presentation. Don't hesitate to come back and reiterate, not go over the whole thing all over again, but just reiterate to re-emphasize those points so that the audience has some takeaways. They can walk away knowing that they have retained something from your audience. Practice and refine, as I've said, practice, practice, practice. So look, I hope those tips help. I will come back very shortly with another video to talk about some different ways that you can storyboard. So you can do it in very traditional ways, or you can do it in digital ways. So stay tuned for part 2 of storyboarding.